In almost all elasmobranchs, I think in all of them actually that have been documented to date, the courtship behavior follows a very similar kind of pattern, and that is that the male will kind of hunt down a female, one male or a group of males, and then they will follow, and then it'll eventually be a leading male that performs this nosing behavior, which is that it starts off as tailing and then nosing, where he really gets in there and gives her what looks like a good sniff. And so that nosing behavior has been documented for decades, and that has been what researchers have fallen on to say that, yeah, sharks must use pheromones, because pheromone use has been incredibly well documented for a lot of fish species. So they assumed and extrapolated that sharks must use pheromones as well, and it makes perfect sense. And they've used this nosing behavior as evidence for that as well. And then following the nosing behavior, the male will then start biting pectoral fins and, having a go, start being quite aggressive, and you'll see sort of scars and bite marks on the gills and pectoral fins of the females, and on the dorsal side as well. He'll get a good grasp of the pectoral fin. That'll cause her to submit, then they'll flip around and do the dirty. So in almost all elasmobranch species, that's been the pattern of courtship behaviors, of copulatory behaviors. So it's been that nosing that has led people to think that they must use pheromones. And there was a paper released in the 70s of someone documenting the behavior of these, I think they were black tips, where this male was following a feeding trail, and then he beelines away from that and then started to find his way towards a female. But when he made his change of direction, change tack towards the female, she was beyond visual cues, beyond electrosensory, beyond mechanosensory. He had actually just hooked into her odor trail and followed the odor trail around and then found her, and then mating ensued afterwards. So that was a pretty good description of a change in behavior from a male that ended in copulation. That suggests he used odor alone to find her.